What's up, you guys? And welcome to another episode of Your Favorite Aunties Podcast.
Welcome back.
Uh-huh.
We have just a few church announcements. We're going to go through them really quickly. One, DC.
Yup.
Y'all don't owe us nothing. Y'all don't owe us nothing.
No, because
Nathaniel.
Hello? If y'all are setting the tone for the tour,
Hello.
New York and Dallas,
Y'all better get ready. Because
let me tell you, DC said we want y'all to come back.
DC pulled up.
And showed out.
Hello. So y'all make sure we still have 2 more shows left.
Yes.
New York City, June 13th. Dallas, July 26th. Again, link in our bio, in our descriptions, yfauntiespodcast.com. Get your tickets. Just get them.
Get them. Right now. And my thing is, don't come alone. Like, don't come alone. Bring you somebody.
But if you need to come along, we family.
Yeah, baby.
We family.
You might come along, but you might not leave alone. Amen.
We've had people meet at the show and become friends. Like, anybody who said, you know what, I want to go, I don't have nobody to go with, you get adopted, baby. It's okay. It's all right.
Our shows are so fun, and we are family.
We're family.
Like, we're not just y'all TTs just to be funny. It's like, no. Y'all now sit next to each other, huh?
Take a picture.
Right.
Smile. Say cheese.
Okay. Look up, Marlon. Say cheese.
We're brothers.
We're happy and we're singing and we're colored.
Do.
Give me a high five.
All right, cut y'all. Split.
Cut and print and beautiful, guys.
Why do we know that whole intro? And 90% of it is not the song. They're talking, ad-libbing. Know every bit of it.
Hello? That just proves like we were there. We were really there.
Absolutely.
Even when they changed it, like they were doing it and then they were like, like they was all in the subway and stuff.
Yeah. I remember that. We lost the plot. So coming back, make sure y'all get y'all tickets to the tour. But we wanted to do part 2.
Yes.
The episode from last week where we were talking about managing your expectations.
Yeah.
Because there's just so many different ways you could go with it.
Yeah.
We kind of went down a little tangent there because we got in our feelings, particularly one of us more than the other. Yeah. But we wanted to come back and do part 2 because there's still much more to say about managing your expectations and what happens when you don't properly manage them and you end up disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I ended up disappointed a second ago when I was just simply expressing myself and then here you come saying what you said. But I thought that I had a friend.
What are you even talking about? When I told you no?
Yes. Because why would you tell me no?
Anyways, manage your expectations.
Yeah. I managed them so like you just hate me. Literally,
you always go to that.
Yeah, because you do. Because my thing is, as my bestie, why would you tell me no?
It's okay to hear no sometimes.
Says who?
Says me.
So how do you react when somebody tells you no? What expectations?
It depends on who's telling me no.
Your man tell you no, then what?
I'm upset.
Exactly. You're my woman.
Lies. Never been an allegation.
Never. Not as long as I'm alive.
Not with her at all.
So when your man tells you no, what do you do?
I tell him he hates me. Yeah.
I'm on brand.
With your man.
You're my woman.
No, I am not.
All right, fine. Then you can say that in front of them. That's cool.
Oh, wow.
They really gonna take that.
Hello. Don't clip that. It's not true at all.
Do not. This is not true.
It is not like that.
No.
I don't go that way.
No, she doesn't.
I don't like my kind. Anyway, expectations.
Mm-hmm.
How do you navigate when somebody disappoints you?
I have noticed that I have retreat within myself.
Mm-hmm.
I abandon it.
Do you get really emotional or do you get cold?
I get cold. I get cold because it's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll try to talk about it, but if I feel like my efforts will be futile, I don't even go there.
How do you know they'll be futile?
Based on how that person has reacted before. I may keep something to myself. I may not talk to you about it because I know what the outcome is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And before I go do that, I'm just going to exit stage left.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I might give that person an opportunity to show me otherwise. I mean, I can't say that how I deal with it is always the best, but I can say for a couple situations in my life where I did not realize that I needed to manage my expectation, and I found certain things out or experienced certain things, I was like, oh, okay. And I just kind of like started backing up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just started backing up because it's like, obviously, I look at things differently than you,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not in the same space.
Do you handle two-part. Do you handle expectations and disappointments the same in love and in life, or is it different?
In love, I feel like there's a commitment to communicate.
Because a different commitment to communicate.
Mm-hmm. Because if you're thinking like the longevity of the relationship and like wanting to actually stick to that person, the only way that y'all are going to get past certain things is to communicate about them. So where you may have the luxury of not saying as much to a friend, you don't really have it with your romantic partner. Because where you kind of don't necessarily have that commitment to your friend, like you would like to have that commitment to your friend, but at a certain point your commitment is to your husband or your wife. So like, let's say you and I were to, get into it for whatever reason, and we just parted, like that would be that, because there's no commitment to us. There is an invisible commitment, but it's just not the same as what it would be if you were like married.
Well, don't you think it's an invisible commitment with your partner though?
Yes, but I'm specifically talking about marriage. Like you got to work through stuff for it to work. Like you have to. You don't have a choice but to talk about things. Whether you want to deal with it today or tomorrow, like you got to do it.
Interesting. I feel like I've heard people say like we should put it is a different level of commitment for sure. Like, cause you're not signing participating in a covenant with your friend necessarily, the same type of covenant. Like it's not a one flesh covenant, but it still can be a covenant nonetheless.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
I don't want to take away from the relationship the friendship that you can have with someone and not make it seem like it doesn't have a heavy weight to it, because it absolutely does. And you do want there to be longevity there. But when you think about a sense of like growing old with this person, you kind of have a deeper commitment to grow old with this person instead of like, I just want to grow old with this person.
But so you're saying this in marriage. So in the dating phase, do you manage expectations the same as you would like a friend, or do you treat dating like marriage?
I would kind of say I treat dating like marriage. Like just making it a point to work things out, or like really try to get down to the bottom of things, because in that you can either figure out, do I need to be with this person or do I not need to be with this person, based on talking things out. You know what I'm saying? Like it can still weed out whether you're going to be with them or not.
Okay, so I do want to get into that. So we're talking about managing expectations. How do we manage the expectation we have of our romantic partners? Because some people go into dating differently. Some people go into dating saying, I'm going to make this person my person. You know what I mean? Like we're dating, so this is my person. Some people go into dating and say, okay, I'm still open to this person not being my person.
Yeah.
How would you encourage somebody who's in the dating phase to manage their expectations?
You can go in having the desire for this person to be your person, but also be sober-minded enough to say, if this person isn't, I'm not going to make somebody square fit into a circle.
That's tough in this dating world, because you get into relationships and it's like, I put a lot into this. I already been out there. It ain't too much out there.
Yeah.
So people tend to stay in the relationship because it's like, I don't want to be out there. You know what I mean?
I completely understand that. But also in that same right, it's not too much out there, but there is something out there. And I think just switching back to the abundance mindset and knowing that what you need to have will come to you, it plays a very big role in it. And I know for a very long time, I had a very negative self-talk as it related to, dating. Like, there's pee in the dating pool and there's this and there's that. But then it's like, no. And a high caliber man wants me. he's searching out for me. Like a man who seeks to understand me is wanting to find me, and I will be found. Like he's going to pick up my scent. When I really started like changing my mind about it, it changed my mind about dating. So if you go into it, well, I'm just gonna stay with you. I'm gonna stay with you because I don't know what I'm gonna get out there. And it's like, you don't know what you're gonna get out there. You don't. But you are deciding to let this be your last stop. You know, I feel like it's to each their own. Some people want to go into it and making this person their person. But I feel like at a certain point, if you have to make someone your person, then we need to talk about that. I'm all for people merging lives and merging how to be together and, you know, kind of changing or tweaking certain things because of your partner's sake. But if you begin to change your entire personhood just to be with someone, don't do that. If I'm getting into a relationship and I know the person that I'm getting into a relationship with is a square, it would be very wrong of me to begin to shave down their sides knowing that I'm a circle. If I get into it knowing I'm a circle, knowing they're a square, I just have to understand we're going to have to figure out a way or find some type of way for us to fit through the same ways, you know? Because me being a circle, I could fit into a square. You know what I mean? Like, so we have to take into account who we're with. Because somebody can love you and they just want to make your life a little bit better. So if they know if they tweak something about themselves, okay, cool. But if you're going in trying to make this person change who they are completely, that's not fair. I don't think that that's fair. People can tweak and understand because they love you, but to completely change who they are, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think that you should have to do that for somebody. Unless, of course, you just want to and you want to be a totally different person.
I mean, naturally, a relationship is going to change you because any relationship changes you. Friendship changes you. You know, dating relationships change you. All of that because you bump up against people, things begin to happen just naturally, right? Some selfishness is going to fall off. Some, you know, all these different things are going to fall off because you are coming into contact with somebody else. It is very easy to stay the same when you are by yourself because there's nobody there to force you to think about what you're doing, how you're saying this, how you're doing this, why you think like this. Like that is the whole, you know, reason why marriage is this reflection of Christ and the church. Right. So it's natural for that to happen. But like you said, again, this goes into managing your expectations too, because I feel like as women, we've been conditioned to think that men need to be like us. Same, I would say the same and the other way around, because there's a lot of conversation about how even heterosexual men don't like women. Like they like them sexually, but they don't like women.
Right.
But it's because we're conditioned in the background to think that they have to be like us and vice versa. When it's like, no, actually, they are completely different. And that's the beauty of it. You know what I mean? Like, we're very detailed. They're very overarching. You know what I mean? But we need both of these. I need you to give me the high level. I'm going to make sure everything down here is set. It all comes together. But instead of appreciating the difference, it's like, no, he needs to be more like this and he needs to be more like that. And he's not this enough and he's not that enough. And we talked about that in one of the earlier episodes when we were saying that people say your best friends be the greatest love of your life. But that's because they are like you.
Right.
And you have to learn to appreciate somebody not being like you.
No, that's really good. So how do you balance your boyfriend like being the love of your life, but knowing that I am the love of your
Girl,
life?
goodbye.
How do you what is that?
I said people say that. I ain't say I said that.
But I mean, what is that like? Separating the two, like truly, like not even joking, like knowing that, you know, you love your man the way that you do and you want to be there for him and making him a priority, but still like understanding like your friends, you know, they should be priorities too, or, you know.
How are you there's no like arrival place.
Yeah.
And I'm in a different spot now. Y'all have heard me talk about in my previous relationships, I didn't put them first. They were very important. I'm not saying that they weren't a priority, but they were never first. I was always pursuing something, finishing my degree, starting a business, friends to hang out with, traveling. And I also am in a relationship, but it's not like it doesn't supersede anything.
Right.
So this is my first go around in a romantic relationship as an adult where he actually does supersede things. He actually does come first before other things. So I'm still very much navigating that. And I have a lot of guilt, just like moms have mom guilt. I have a lot of like friend guilt, work guilt, all these different things, because as you get older and different things are happening, your priorities start to shift around.
Right.
And I'm not used to having this priority be down here.
Yeah.
You know? So, but there's no way to keep it all at the top 100% every day, all the time. So I feel guilty when something is not getting as much time from me, effort from me, energy from me, but I also cannot do it all.
Right.
So there is no arrival place. Like, I'm still just figuring it out, because I know it's only going to get worse. Actually, I don't have kids. I don't have, like, I can't even imagine. I cannot keep up with the friends that I have now. And then you want me to have some kids? Y'all ain't finna hear from me. What? When? I need to sleep. Hello, because I'm already like, I barely watch TV, because by the time I finish working, work out, talk to my boyfriend, maybe talk to you, maybe not, I'm like, can I watch TV for a second? Because it's already time for me to go to sleep.
Right.
You know, like, just not even having a second. So I can only imagine people who are married, because I'm not even seeing him every day. Married, kids, business, work. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Side note, side quest. So for me, going through my day, I have all these things going on, and then finally finish getting off the phone and, you know, all that stuff. At the end of the night, so you're saying, like, do I even have time to watch TV? Do I this? Do I that? I cannot remember the name right now, but there's this thing talking about, like, it's time that you get back to yourself, which causes you to stay up at night so that you can have a minute for yourself. You don't experience that, or do you just, like,
I go to bed.
You allow that voice to be louder than
Everybody that know me know Nia is going to bed.
she's going to sleep.
I'm not. No, I do not struggle with that.
I'll be at your house. All right, friend, I'm about to go to bed.
You can stay up, baby.
And you tell me
I
that
ain't
in a
gonna
minute.
hold you.
As for me in my head, we laying in the bed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I guess.
But no, I have heard of people like they stay up late because that's the only time that they have.
Yeah.
But I would just rather not be tired. I just don't function well when I don't get no sleep.
Agreed.
I've always been a sleeper, always. But again, priority.
Sleep is a priority, honey.
Plus, I've been in a place where I sacrificed sleep for somebody.
Don't even bring that
And
up.
it wasn't even worth it. It wasn't even worth it. And after that, I was like, never again. I'm getting my rest.
And
I will talk to you tomorrow.
You absolutely do that. One thing about Nia, she say it, it's done.
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 Good is done.
That girl said, I'm not doing this no more, and did not, and proceeded to not do it anymore.
Correct.
Me, on the other hand, I might do it 2 more times.
Baby. Fool me once.
Hello? Once they show you that they gonna shenan, you automatically know they
You're
gonna
not
shenan
going
again.
again with me.
Hello?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. At least not in the same way.
Right. But that's part of everything we're talking about, managing those expectations.
Right.
Because then I also have to manage my expectations of myself, because that whole guilt thing, when I'm in therapy talking, and she's like, you cannot do it all. What do you feel guilty about? You're a human.
Right.
And it's like, ugh. But I want to do it all. But I want to be everywhere. But I want to be everything to everybody.
Right.
You cannot. And
Well,
accepting that.
When y'all be talking about me in your session, what you be saying?
And accepting the fact that you cannot be everything to everybody. It's tough.
How do you get over it though? Or how are you getting over it?
I'm not getting over it. I think that I try not to think about it.
Really? Really? Huh. Okay.
Because you'll be paralyzed, because it's like, oh, because I know we've had this conversation before where it's like sometimes you can think about things so much that you end up not doing nothing at all.
Right.
So I really try to, it's probably not the healthiest, but I kind of push it over. Like, I have these feelings, but I got to keep moving forward because it's not ever going to be solved.
Okay. I feel that. I really feel that. Okay.
Yeah. Be kind to yourself. Managing your expectations for yourself is something that I've been working on a long time.
Do you have any practical steps to help someone manage their expectations of something?
Practical steps. Conversations, which is, we say it very easily, but to be honest, for me, it's not easy.
Right.
I have a hard time because I have a hard time with points of communication because I'm always thinking so much about the communication itself. When am I going to say this? How am I going to say this? You know, what, want to make sure that it's the right time to say this.
Right.
Like, I have so many thoughts about the conversation itself because I don't want anybody's feelings to be hurt. I want people to hear my heart correctly. I want all these different things that it actually makes it very difficult for me to say the things that I need to say that are not easy to say. Mm-hmm. So, but conversations are definitely important. Communicating, not assuming. Just even if it seems like the most simplest of things, I cannot drive that home enough. It seems like it's so simple. Say it. Ask it. You don't want to be on the other side like, you know what, I thought about that and I could have asked and I didn't. It'll save you so much heartache if you just ask. Just ask.
It's so hard sometimes.
It is hard.
It is hard. You don't want to like hurt them or make them feel like what they did wasn't good enough, or you know, that it is, especially when you love them and when you care about them. It's different when it's like you don't know somebody. Hey, I need you to edit this. I need this to da. But when you have, it's like the deeper relationship you have with somebody, the harder it is to do certain things.
Mm-hmm. Which it's kind of backwards because it's like you would think if you have a relationship with somebody, they know you, they won't take it the wrong way. But they still do sometimes. Yeah. And that's the thing that be like, oh, man, I don't want to say that.
Why are you trying to talk about me?
I'm notorious for taking the short end of the stick. Because I'd rather just take the short end than, like, hurt somebody's feelings or, you know.
Yeah. You'll bear the brunt of it just because you feel like you can bear the brunt of it. But it's like, can you bear the brunt of it?
Most time, no.
You want to talk to me about something?
Most of the time, no. But it's just hard.
Yeah.
It's really, really hard. And I wish that I was that type of person that could just say what's on my mind, say how I'm feeling. But I just be thinking about all the different angles of everything. Yeah. I'm just like, I'll just do it.
And it's like, you just rather, I'm good. Yeah. Don't even worry about it.
Don't even worry about it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I know it rolls off the tongue very easily. Communicate your expectations. Baby, it ain't,
Shoot.
It ain't that easy. Even in relationship. Like, it's easy in dating because, like you said, you don't have no connection to them because it's like, baby, look, either you gonna do this or you not.
Get with it.
It's what I want. What? But when you actually, like, really start to care about them, you love them, you're invested, it's harder to be like, hey, it's not really working for me.
You know what you got me? I don't like you.
It's tough. It's tough. But, yeah.
That's and like you said, it's just the weirdest thing because you would think that it is easier to talk to someone that you know loves and cares about you. Because do you feel like you still have a difficult time talking to me about certain things? Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. I have to tell you 5 things right now.
Everybody in my life who you would name that I'm like close to or whatever, I still have a hard time telling them things. Telling them things that may like hurt their feelings or they may take the wrong way. And I could definitely be overthinking it.
Yeah.
90% chance I am.
Yeah.
But because that's already like ruminating, it's just hard.
So what world do you feel like you will be comfortable? You know?
It's a me thing more than it's a person thing. So I don't know. I don't know if it's just me flexing that muscle and just doing it more and more till I feel comfortable with it just coming out. I don't know. But it's definitely a me thing. It's definitely a me thing. It's just that's always been who I've been. Not to say that it's right.
Like, is it something that you want to get over or is it something that you're willing to live with?
No, I would like to get over it, yeah, for sure. Because it sucks getting the short end of the stick all the time. It does. I take it, but it sucks and it's tiring for sure. It's just the other side of it is just so difficult for me.
And it's like I want to sit up here and everything in me wants to be like, friend, like, you know, you can talk to me. You know, you can.
But it's a me thing.
But also, it's like I completely understand why you would be like, ugh, I don't want to say anything, even to me, because I know I'm sensitive.
Yeah, you are. I don't be wanting to hurt your feelings.
I'm about to cry. And it's like I know that, but it's still everything in me wants to be like, you can talk to me,
girl. Bye.
Because you can. I'm gonna cry.
Right.
I'm gonna cry. Feelings gonna get hurt.
That's it. That for me, I'm like, I would rather not hurt your feelings.
But knowing that you're hurting hurts my feelings.
Why?
Because it's just like, I don't want this person that I love and care about to be in a cage or feel like they don't have the freedom to talk to me about certain things. But on that very same note, I really do understand why you don't say things to me. I do. Because I will cry and I will mean it. And I will think about that for the next 2 months.
Exactly.
And all you will say is, hey, I didn't like it when you left that in my car. Because I really didn't mean it. It's just, I forgot.
I will never get in your car again.
And that's me.
Yeah.
That is 100%.
Throw the
y'all,
baby out with the bathwater.
I will. Oh, baby, you ain't never got. That's my favorite line. You ain't got to worry about me again. That is my favorite line. Oh, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah.
And we'll not do it again.
Yeah. Yeah. But I had to work on that in relationship, and I was like, Nia, you can't cry every time he tell you something, because then he's not going to tell you stuff, and that's not what you want in your relationship.
Right.
Because, baby, listen, it's one thing when you're a friend or somebody, but when your man tell you something, baby, my feelings be hurt.
Like, you don't like me?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, no, he just said, can you please not say that again?
But that's the same thing as like, you hate me and the sound of my voice is so irritating.
I would never talk to you again. Don't you worry about it.
Right.
But I like consciously tried to, even sometimes we'll be in conversation talking about something and I'll be like, I'm not going to cry right now. I'm just going to express myself and say, because you don't want that perception, because you want people, like you said, to like freely share with you. And especially a man, like they really don't want to hurt their woman feelings. Yeah. You know, they don't
if they like you.
Thank you. They don't want to see you cry. So I was like, Nia, don't cry every time. Just.
This is the perfect moment to cry.
For sure.
You know what? I do want to ask the fellas who are listening to us, when it comes to you telling your girl something, how do you feel? And then how do you go about telling her? Because let's say, you with a sensitive woman, does it stop you from saying things to her? Or do you just do your best to like say it, but just not hurt her as much? Like, what is it like? I would love to hear from the man.
It has to be tough. It has to be tough.
I feel like a man, especially your man, should have a safe space to express himself. Mm-hmm. Because what some men don't understand is there are women who want to hear what it is that they have to say. And they really do want to be that vulnerable space for them. And there are times when we really have to like bridle how we feel or what we want to say, because it's like, I have to create this positive space for my man to say something to me.
Yes.
But also it's like, excuse me.
It's not as easy.
Yeah.
It sounds beautiful and amazing, but it is not always easy.
But it's like, you really, as women, especially like us, you and I, like, we do value our man's opinion, like, or, somebody that we're with. We will value what they have to say and want them to know, like, I am a safe space for you.
Yes.
To come and release your emotions and to let me know that you have emotions.
Yes.
So that, I could be a sounding board for you.
Right.
And it's like, to manage your facial expressions, your breaths, your responses.
Your memory of that moment and not bring it up again.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they don't like it when you bring stuff back up.
You cannot bring that thing back up. Baby, bury it.
Hello?
Put the tombstone on it.
Ooh. Sometimes it'd be hard because last week. But it's like, no, that was last week. Mm-hmm. And if you was beefing at that wedding, you should have stayed beefing at that wedding.
Been something for me, because I can hold a grudge.
Oh.
I can hold one.
You don't say.
But to know expectations, to know that your romantic partner will absolutely hurt your feelings at some point.
Yeah.
They will absolutely do something that you don't like. And you need to forgive them and move on. Not talking about toxicity and abuse. I'm just talking about everyday relationship. He gonna hurt your feelings at some point.
Yeah.
And not intentionally. Maybe intentionally if he mad. But you know what I'm saying? Like, he gonna hurt your feelings at some point.
How do you do that? When it's like, that your partner is mad at you and they say something or do something to make you mad.
What you mean?
Like, because you just said, well, they say something to hurt your feeling, they don't mean to, or maybe they do mean to. How do you deal with that? How do you...
Expectations. Your romantic partner, no matter how much you adore them, they're human too. Mm-hmm. And we all do things that we may not need to do when we're upset.
Right.
I shut down when I'm mad. Do I need to do that? Probably not. But do I do it? Absolutely. You know, everybody's different. So how can I... Okay. How can I...
It's always that ear.
It's always this one.
Because that's where your hair is.
Yeah, I'm not even going to worry about it. Again, expectations. Your romantic partner is going to hurt your feelings at some point.
Yeah.
Going into that realistically,
Yeah.
knowing that this person is not going to be perfect. They're going to do something that I don't like. They're going to say something that I don't like. But I need to be able to handle it. And if I love them and they love me, I have to be able to move on from it.
Right.
It's not that easy.
Right.
I'm used to being like,
deuces.
You said what? You did what?
Huh?
I'm out. You not gonna hear from me.
When I walk out that
Ain't
door,
no break, no contact from me. That's it. That's all.
That's it. That's all.
Wrap it up. It's done.
Matter of fact, you ain't got to say nothing.
So coming back after
Yeah.
a big situation.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I ain't never done that before. I'm out. Do you understand? I'm gone.
Yeah.
What?
I walked out the door. I'm not coming back no more.
Now, everybody's capacity is different depending on what happened, why it happened. Are they sorry, like genuinely apologetic and feel bad about it and ready to change and move forward? All of that plays a part in it. But overall, that's been hard for me. But you got to move on, and I can't keep bringing it up.
Ooh. Not even one more time?
You remember when you... Can't do that, baby.
And I actually forgave you. And you mean to tell me that you're not going to forgive me right now?
Hello?
Baby, that's the thing. Or like they try to tell you about something, but you actually let it go when they did it. But now they're trying to tell you that. And it's like, you really do this too. But,
or the opposite way. Because I've caught myself in a bunch of hypocritical situations. Like, I know that I do something and then they do it and they get on my nerves. And I'm like, shoot, I do that.
Yeah. You gonna say something though?
I'm gonna say something, but also internally I'm like, okay, I need to stop doing that too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Baby, that relationship, it'll expose all the hypocrisy, all of it.
And it's like being in something healthy will make you realize how toxic you are. And you think you healthy.
Hello.
I'm just like,
because then you actually got to work on yourself. I think it was Sarah Jakes who was talking about how Sarah Jakes Roberts, who was talking about how like being with a real one, like it pulls something different out of you.
Right.
Because we not worried about, oh, he cheating and oh, he lying, but it's like, oh, I gotta communicate better. I need to handle my emotions. I need to trust and and it's like, because you're not dealing with that other stuff.
Right.
It pulls up the real stuff. And it's
right.
like, oh,
right.
Okay. All right. This is a lot. Okay. This is a lot. Yeah, it's something. But y'all remember, just manage your expectations because it is linked a lot to the disappointments that we have in life. So whether it's managing expectations for yourself, for others, for a relationship, for friendships, really just assessing all of those different areas of life and what is best for each area separately.
Right.
Everything has its own thing. Don't lump everything together.
Right. Friend, this is good. We can't do a part 3.
We got to move on.
We got to move on. But listen, y'all, we are out of time, but we are never out of content. If anything, we might give Patreon a little extra taste of this or something.
Maybe.
We'll see. We'll cross that bridge. I think you got it. It's on you.
Okay,
y'all.
y'all.
Do the intro?
Maybe. No, I don't know. We'll see y'all next week on another episode of
Your Favorite Aunties Podcast. Bye.